traumatic events are typically what we would call fragmented from the rest of our autobiographical memory. So they're dissociated, they're distinct, they're not integrated into the whole big picture. All right. And what this does is it gives them the ability to operate kind of independently when they get activated. They run the show. This one memory is running the show rather than our whole autobiographical memory. And this is where we begin to have the somatic memories, the flashbacks, inner voices, visualizations, which can lead to that hyper-arousal, going up into fight or flight, crashing, numbing out, that sort of thing. The example I usually use for this one is a personal one, and it's kind of silly, but this is like absolutely a very real experience for me. Back several years ago, I used to be a pastor, and it was a Sunday morning. It's like 6:30 in the morning. I'm the only one at the church, and I'm making a pot of coffee, and I go in to pour myself a cup of coffee, and as I'm pouring the coffee, my phone rings, and it's my mom. And if my mom is calling me at 6:30 a.m. on a Sunday, something's wrong. So I immediately have a threat response happen, and I answer the phone, and she says, "Everything's okay," but which tells you actually something terrible's happened. Right? Okay. And what she told me was that my grandfather's house had burned down overnight, and he had barely made it out. Wow. Just like jumped through the flames. Okay. I said, "What happened?" And she said, "We think maybe it was the heating element in the heating pad outside for the cat." Now, when she says this to me, I'm staring at the coffee pot and the heating element in the coffee pot. And Michael, no lie, in that moment, I developed this trauma trigger where I could not leave my house without unplugging my coffee pot. And if I wasn't sure that I had done it, I'd turn around and drive 20 minutes back to my house to do it. Here's the thing. I knew it was irrational. I logically knew that there were other things in my house that were more of a fire hazard than that coffee pot. I logically knew I could leave that coffee pot on all day long on that countertop, and it's not going to cause a fire. But when that memory would get activated, it took over everything, and all the other parts of my story and all the other things I logically knew out the window. That's how powerful one fragmented memory can be.